Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Ftrack review webinar. My name is Rory McGregor. I am the General Manager of Ftrack Australia, look after Australia and the Asian region. And I'm also the Product Manager for review across the whole of the Ftrack suite. And that's what we're here to talk about today. So we're going to keep this session reasonably quick. And just run through some of the new developments that we have in Ftrack review. I believe there's a question section open. We're not going to get to a live Q&A today, I don't think, but we will definitely make sure that if you have any questions that we will answer them and follow up directly with you after this session. So Ftrack review. We are going to have a look at a very quick summary through Ftrack review, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with how it all works, but we'll have a very quick summary through the product, and then we will look at the changes that we've made over the last couple of months. And once we've had a look through those, we'll also have a look at some of the upcoming features. We've got a bit of a sneak peek at a feature that's going to be released fairly soon, and we can talk about some of the other development and what the team's working on right now. So for those of you that are new to Ftrack review, Ftrack review is a browser-based review and approval system, a way of being able to very easily share media with other people, to be able to comment on the media, to be able to draw on the screen and point things out, and to do all of that in a really simple, intuitive interface, where you guarantee that all the media that you upload is going to play. It'll play on any browser. And it's just a really kind of simple user experience that doesn't require training in advance, or you don't have to kind of convince your clients to use it, because it's just so easy to use and easy to get started with. So over the past couple of months, we have focused on 5 major areas in review. And for those of you that are using it, you will have seen these changes rolled out in the last few weeks. So the first thing is that we are continually trying to streamline the user experience. We are trying to reduce the number of clicks it takes to get to reviews, to reduce any friction getting in and out of reviews, and making it easy to add people into those reviews. So simplifying the sharing of reviews and making it easy for guests to access and to enter. We have added some more controls over managing media within the review. So that is both being able to upload and import media simply within the review itself. And also we've added a new vertical playlist option. So in addition to the horizontal playlist across the bottom of the screen, we have a vertical view, which gives you a lot more information, and we're going to be building that over time. And the last focus is obviously just continued performance and improvements in performance. So making sure that the interface remains responsive, that playback is absolutely frame accurate and perfect, and that the quality is there that you would expect. So I guess the best thing to do is to actually have a look at the product and to dive in. So I'm just going to jump over and jump into review. Okay, so here we have the new updated review interface. So when you launch Ftrack review, when you log in, this is the view that you're going to see, which is your projects page. Within the projects page, we have taken steps to really kind of streamline the creation of projects. So now it's as simple as clicking create project. You name the project. You can choose whether or not to have the project be private or open. If it's private, then only people who are invited to the project will have access. If it's open, then anyone who is a logged in user will be able to see the project. But I'm for this demo, I'm going to show a project we already have open. So maybe I'll open this one. So within a project, you have your collection of reviews. And again, we have simplified this interface to just show the reviews and to allow you to access reviews directly. You can, again, create a new review name the review, describe it. I have a few settings here that can define how the review is available to guests. The passphrase protection is particularly useful. So when you send invites out, a guest joining would have to enter that passphrase to be able to enter the review. So it's a nice additional security measure that's still very simple to implement. But you can also just open any review here and it will open directly into the review interface. So let's say I'll open this one because it's got a lot of files. So compared to the previous version of review, some things that you will see that are different. The upload from computer button that's down here now, and the import from library button. We've added those as a way of being able to manage media in the review more effectively. Previously, you added your media before you started, and then when you joined the review, the media was all in here. Now you jump straight into the review and you manage your media directly inside the review, so that you have the ability to add additional media during the review. You can remove files from the review if you don't need them, and you can add additional files that you've uploaded before for previous reviews. You can bring those into the review as well. So if you wanted to upload a file, it's as simple as clicking the upload button, and you may not see the overlay here, but if I select a file from my machine, you'll see it uploads in the dialog here, and then once that's been uploaded, it'll be added into the review at the end here as a screenshot. That will go through the quick transcode process, and then that'll be added into the playlist. And once it's added, then we can view it. So we have a screenshot of this very session. We can also import from the library, which allows us to pull any file in from our library that's been uploaded previously. And both of those obviously give us the ability to add media at any time. And once we're in the review, of course, again, for those that haven't seen it, we can play the video, we can draw notes or draw on the screen to point things out, and we can add feedback. In this case, I want to move the mountain. And any notes at any time you can always revisit. So if I go back here, I can see this. I can select this note, see the drawings that are associated with it, and you can see the mark on the timeline that also shows me where that note was added. So as you can see here, the playlist down the bottom here is it shows us a few clips, but it doesn't show us full file names. And it shows us on my screen about 8 clips at a time. So we have added a vertical playlist option within this view as well. So the vertical playlist essentially replicates what you see down here, but it gives you full file names on every clip. It gives you the ability to reorder the playlist. So anything we reorder here will be updated in the horizontal playlist as well. And it will also give you the ability to, any one of these clips, I can choose to, remove this file from the review, and I can also go and view it back in our library. So all the media that's in a review, you can go back to where it's stored in our library, and you can see previously added notes and other information about the media. So this vertical playlist is going to be continued to be worked on over the next few months. We're going to have a lot more functionality built into this vertical playlist view. We're going to be able to select multiple clips and create sequence playback sequences out of it. So being able to look at several clips back to back and have them running in a context cut, and you'll be able to create those on the fly. We will be able to potentially, filter. Well, we'll definitely be able to filter. We'll be able to search clips. So people who are running sessions that have sometimes upwards of 200 clips in a review, they'll be able to manage their media a little more simply than they have been able to previously. And we'll also be, continuing to add functions and playback options, compare versions, and things like that. So there's a lot to be added, but this vertical view just gives us really quick and simple access to a playlist that can be a little more difficult to manage in a larger review. So the next thing is then inviting people to reviews. So traditionally in Ftrack review, invitations were via email. So if you hit the Add Collaborator link here, you would get an email invite option, which is still available. So I can add a collaborator anytime by adding their email address and send the invite out, and the email will go out with link information, and then the guest can join that way. But we also now have the ability to share a link. So that's as simple as hitting copy, and then that link can be pasted into anything, into an email, into Skype, into Slack, whatever tool you're using for communication. And anyone clicking that review, clicking that link will be pulled into this review. So it's a very simple way of being able to get people to join, being able to get guests into a review with a minimum of fuss, and to as I mentioned before, we find that sometimes customers who are working with you can be a little reticent to learn a new platform. Try and introduce them to a tool, and they're like, I don't want to learn something else. But with Ftrack Review, because you just send them a link and they click it and it all just loads automatically, there's really nothing for them to learn. Everything is handled for them. But yeah, once everyone's in sync, then whenever anything I play is going to be visible by anyone in the review. So playing, pausing, jumping to a frame, drawing on the screen, all of these things will be viewable in sync by everyone who's in the review. And so, but from the guest point of view, there's nothing for them to have to do to make that work. And coming to the drawing tools, one of the things that we've done recently, we've also updated the drawing code. So the drawings are much, they're smoother, rounder, faster. They kind of better represent how you're working. If you're using a tablet and drawing with more detail, you'll find the drawings are really responsive. We've put quite a bit of work into the drawing code to make that more efficient. So really, most of the changes that we've made in reviews so far have been about improving speed and efficiency. So making the project interface really simple, making the review interface really simple, getting you into reviews quickly without having too many clicks to move around. Adding the ability to upload material from your computer or import from the library from within the review, the vertical playlist to be able to easily reorder within the review, the ability to invite people from within the review via either the email or the shareable link, and the improvements in the drawings. So that's the main changes, and you'll see a number of other changes coming through over the next couple of months. We're continually updating Ftrack Review, and we are keen to issue updates on a regular basis. So this is really kind of our first step in taking Ftrack Review and really building out this as a review platform, and taking on board a lot of our customer requests. So all of you who have requests or have questions for us, we are very open to hearing them. We're very keen to hear your ideas and what you need. So one of the features that we have had requested by a few of our customers, particularly working in animation, and it depends on terminology, but it's either called ghosting or onion skinning. So my colleague Robbie is going to, I think, grab control of the screen and show you one of these features, which is not implemented yet, but is going to be added into the Ftrack review in the near future. So with this mode enabled, it basically means that you can see a number of frames before and a number of frames after the frame that you've drawn on in terms of your drawings. So if you draw on a frame and move forward a few frames, it will fade out over a series of frames. So it means that if you wanted to illustrate the tracking of an object across the screen, so say in this case we have a bird or something that we want to say, we want to start from here, and we want that to, over the course of the shot, move to this location, then that's really easy to demonstrate. And because you can see your previous drawing as you're drawing the next one, you can really easily judge that path. So if we add an extra drawing in here, you'll be able to see where that's added to, and then that will become part of the same sequence. And even during playback, because these things are fading in and fading out over a number of frames, you'll actually see them in playback as well. So you'll see that movement in real time. So for anyone, I mean, it's obviously a very useful animation tool, but really anyone who is talking about inserting elements or talking about potentially taking an element that occurs later in a shot and moving it earlier, this is a really neat way of being able to demonstrate that very visually, but very simply. And we are going to have a UI that allows you to have a lot of control over this process. So you can control how many frames you want to have the fade in and out happening over, how far forward and how far back you want to be able to see these things on screen for. And yeah, and it's obviously something you can turn on and off, so it wouldn't be there all the time. Yeah, so that's one of the tools that we've had requested that we've built in. All of you who have questions or who have the desire to see other tools added, please let us know, and we will continue to refine the product. I'm going to bring my screen back now. So just in terms of our general plan over the next couple of months and what the team's working on now, the big focus over the next couple of months is going to be on the comment section. So there are a lot of requests about being able to have inline comments, so being able to do replies, being able to do things like add emojis or add tags to be able to mention other users and have that tell the other users to go and look at a certain note. That's all being built in there now. So in addition to simply being able to leave feedback, you'll be able to use this as a communication tool internally as well. So there'll be a lot more kind of interaction between users, not just within the review, but across the platform. So and the whole notes or the whole feedback interface is going to be further refined so that it will, yeah, you'll be able to do more with it. You'll be able to track notes more easily, filter notes, be able to search for notes, be able to search for notes by user. And we have had requests recently, or consistently, to be able to do things like just show me the most recent notes. And so those kind of filters are going to be added over the next while as well. To make it easier to sort through the feedback, particularly where you have longer clips and a lot of feedback, to be able to sort that simply, to be able to identify feedback from particular users simply, to be able to identify specific frames where notes have been added, and to be able to identify the difference between a new note and a comment on an existing note. So that's what's the next stage, and we will hopefully be able to have another one of these in the next month or two, where we can show you updates and what we've been able to include already. But in the meantime, please do feel free to contact us and let us know what you'd like to see, and we'll go from there. So thank you for joining this webinar. Feel free to send the questions through. We'll make sure we'll get back to you directly in the next day or so. I thank you for joining this webinar, and we'll see you soon.